It is my pleasure at this time to introduce Paul Newton, State President of Duke Energy, who will introduce our keynote speaker. Paul.
So it is my great honor and privilege to briefly introduce to you our CEO, Lynn Good. I am very proud to call Lynn Good my CEO, and I share that pride with some 28,000 employees at Duke Energy. I got to know Lynn back in 2006 when our company merged with Ohio-based Synergy. By 2009, Lynn was named the company's CFO, and in 2013, a unanimous decision of our board was to name Lynn President and Chief Executive Officer of Duke Energy. I am so proud of her for so many things, but the thing that I admire most about Lynn is her work-life balance. She is 100% dedicated to her church, 100% dedicated to her family, and 100% dedicated to Duke Energy. And that means good things for you as our customers. So please join me in welcoming Lynn Good.
So thank you. I have to adjust. I don't share the height of some of our previous speakers. But I'm so delighted to be here, and I've been looking forward to the chance to come to Wilmington for some time. As I shared with some of my colleagues this morning, I've been to Wilmington a number of times, but I'm drawn to the Brunswick Nuclear Station, and I'm also drawn to the Sutton combined cycle plant. So I've really enjoyed the opportunity to see the downtown area and some of the good work that is going on. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. You know, we've been in this community for many years, and today about 1,300 Duke colleagues call Wilmington home. And in addition to these important assets that I referenced, we've also been a part of this community, supporting economic development and supporting so much of what you do. The start, I guess, was a company called Tidewater Power Company, and then we were Carolina Power and Light, and then we were Progress Energy, and then we were Duke Energy, and are Duke Energy today. But that demonstrates the long history that we all have together. And I understand that this chamber has actually been here for over 100 years as well. By my math, and I'm the only one who would do this probably, about a dozen years before the light bulb was invented, and 20 years before you had electric service in downtown Wilmington. So an opportunity to make a huge impact on this region, and we're really delighted to be a part of it. The theme of your conference is Leading in a New Light, and as a member of the power company, I love that theme. Because producing light is something that we take great pride and responsibility in, and it has really been a life changer for so many of us. But leading in a new light really gives us a broader picture, because what it talks about is fresh perspective. And I really enjoyed Chris's comments about moving forward and building toward the future and caring a lot about the way a region looks many years from now, because the vision that you create has an opportunity to move this community and this region for a very long time. And in the power business, because we also have been here for 100 years and hope to be here for 100 years more, that fresh perspective about moving forward means so much to Duke Energy as well. So what I wanted to share with you is how we're thinking about fresh perspectives, how we're thinking about moving forward, how we're thinking about leading with a new light in all of the work that we do. And I wanted to touch on three things. I wanted to talk about safety and environment and how we have a new perspective and we're moving forward on that very important part of our responsibility. I also wanted to talk about customer expectations, and it was my pleasure this morning to spend some time with some of our most important customers in this region. And then finally, I wanted to talk about how we have a fresh perspective and are moving forward with all of the technological change and innovation that's impacting our industry, and I know impacting yours as well. So again, because I'm counting and maybe you're not, in the area of fresh perspective on safety and environment, it was 1 year ago and 1 day ago that the Dan River spill happened in Eden, North Carolina, February 2nd, 2014. And that event, as well as the rest of 2014 and all of the response to that event, has had a profound impact on our company and has given us an opportunity to demonstrate our commitment to do the right thing for North Carolina and all of the communities that we serve. We have taken this opportunity to have a fresh perspective on how we can continue to raise our standards of operation and raise them in a way that we can be proud of for generations. We're working on smart, sustainable, long-term solutions. We're drawing on experts not only within our company, but outside of our industry. We've put together a group of academics and professional engineers to really advise us on this scientific issue so that we can get to the solutions that make the most sense. And as I thought about how to convey what it means to bring a fresh perspective to adversity, which I know all of us have had at various points in our career, I thought about the picture that I faced during the first week in February in 2014 when I arrived at the site, and the scale of the operation. People working 24 hours a day, cranes and pumps and contractors everywhere. And the vice president responsible for our fossil generation greeted me before I even got out of the car. And he said to me, "Lynn, I'm sorry, and we will fix this." And that's really been the heart of Duke throughout this whole event, is to do the right thing and move forward in a way that fixes this and fixes it for North Carolina in a way that we can be proud of. You know, I found a quote by Lou Holtz, who I know from the Midwest, who was a coach at Notre Dame, but he's also had a history here in the Carolinas. And he has a quote that says, "Life is 10% about what happens and 90% about how you respond to it." And that response has been the center of our commitment throughout 2014. Commitment not only in terms of engineering and building smart and sustainable solutions, but also commitment. We put our foundation to work and came up with a $10 million water fund committed to this region and all of the waterways that are impacted by our operations. And we're proud that the City of Wilmington, UNC Wilmington, and also the North Carolina Coastal Land Trust received seed grants from this fund in order to demonstrate our ongoing commitment to this community. So we have a fresh perspective, and we're moving forward in safety and environment and hope to demonstrate that over a very long term here in North Carolina. Let me also talk about customer expectations. I'm sure this resonates with all of you because customers are changing, their expectations are changing. And in a year and a period when every generation sets new expectations for all of us, we're experiencing that at the power company. Every generation has new things that they want, and they certainly want to communicate and work with us in a very different way. For many years, we only heard from customers when there was an outage or maybe a billing issue. But now, with a group that carries their iPhone and wants to talk to us frequently about lots of things, we've learned that a fresh perspective on communication and outreach to customers is extraordinarily important. Some of our research would say that a customer who is communicated to, who has an outage that's actually longer than another customer, is more satisfied than a customer with a shorter outage that doesn't hear as much from Duke Energy. And so I put this to work one day in my home when I had an outage. I thought I'll call Duke and see how they're keeping me informed about when my outage is going to be over. And I kept sort of an hour-by-hour log. I thought that might be helpful to the leadership team at Duke to see how we're doing, and learned a lot about how we appear to customers. And I'm committed to tell you that we're going to continue to have a fresh perspective on customer expectations so that we can continue to move forward. But I also want to say to you that some expectations from our customers never change, and that's reliability. And we had a very good discussion about that this morning with a number of industrial customers. I think the Corning operation among one of them, with the very advanced technology and sensitive equipment that they work with, they can't afford an upset in power delivery for any period of time, even if it's a second. And so meeting customer expectations with investments around ensuring reliability will also never change. And as you continue to advance manufacturing and your expectations, we intend to advance with you, bringing a fresh perspective toward reliability. And then the final point that I would make is our business, just like yours, is also being impacted heavily by new technologies. There's a lot being written about the evolution of the way power is generated in this country. But that evolution, I would say to you, has been going on for many years. Over the last 5 years, we have retired half of our coal plants in North Carolina, and we've built a lot of natural gas capacity. We also just this year announced $500 million of investment in solar energy as we continue to find ways to put that very important renewable energy to work. The recent announcement of the Atlantic Coast Pipeline to bring natural gas from the Marcellus and Utica region into North Carolina is all intended to bring forward infrastructure in a way that'll underpin this region, the generation of power, economic development, and industry for many, many years. The acquisition of the assets from the Eastern Power Agency is also an important acquisition for us as we face a world where carbon-free generation is so important, and we get low-cost nuclear to bring into that mix. So we are innovating and changing, bringing in new technologies in a way that we believe will move us forward and hopefully move the regions that we serve forward as well. But we also understand that affordability has to be a part of that innovation. And today, our prices or rates are 20% below national average. We operate 3 of the top 10 most efficient coal plants in the United States, and we are committed every day to bring the lowest cost solution that we can possibly bring, because we understand that we can be a driver of economic development. And I'm always so pleased to hear what a priority economic development is for the state of North Carolina, because ultimately that economic development will sustain us and allow us to move forward. And we really look forward to opportunities to partner with you to continue to drive economic development and recognize that low prices and low rates are a part of that. We also continue to support organizations like the Wilmington Area Rebuilding Ministry in order for us also to be mindful of low and fixed income residents who are impacted so heavily by a challenged economy, and we'll continue to support that as we innovate and focus on affordability. So at Duke, we're a long service business, long dated. We hope to be here for many decades, and we also are focused on having a fresh perspective and moving forward and partnering with all of you. And we look forward to the opportunity to work with you hand in hand in this region to make it the very best it can be. And I think about the future with great confidence because I'm joined by 28,000 people who have a heart for this region and a heart for this company and a heart for delivering service 24 hours a day. But I also come forward with great humility because there are about 20 million people who count on Duke Energy every day to supply power every minute in a way that you can count on. And we're human beings. We don't always get it perfectly right, but we are committed to getting it right and making it right so that we can continue to underpin the communities that we serve and the customers who count on us every day. So I wish you the very best in 2015, all the priorities that have been laid out for you. They sound like a lot to get to work to and also to be excited about. And we look forward to being your partner as you move forward the Wilmington area. So thanks so much for being here. It's been a pleasure to spend the time with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn, and thank you for those enlightening remarks and for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today. That was really great. Duke Energy has been a great corporate partner with the Chamber. We look forward to continuing that relationship for many years to come. And we're especially thankful for Duke Energy's efforts in giving back to the community and the ways in which you support economic development. Thank you again. Let's give her another round of applause. Thank you so much.